Welcome back to Day of the Day. It's another day of the day, which is going to be the case every day this year, if you haven't caught up yet, or if you're new. There's 4 days for today, all of them pretty strange, honestly. Let's get into them. First off, National Kindergarten Day. We don't call it kindergarten, we call it reception. I had to think about that one for a second. I also think we scale primary school differently, if I remember from recess. You start, I can't remember if America is a year earlier or a year later for educational system. We both do preschool, and then we do classes, and we do years, and you do... I don't remember any of that. I don't care either, so it's kind of a moot point. The point is the educational system is very different. It's all of it bar, although from what I've heard from, I think I remember hearing some things in the news that even kindergarten, reception and preschool are getting tests and stuff now, which is absolutely ridiculous because we don't need to test 5-year-olds. We barely need to test 15-year-olds. Never alone 5-year-olds. It's a bit silly. Then again, the educational system in general is a bit silly. It constantly it covers a lot of stuff that no one needs to know. I mean, for example, the amount of emphasis that's put on English and maths as subjects in this country is kind of ridiculous, considering the content within. There is something like everyone has to graduate with at least a passing GCSE, a decent GCSE grade in both of those, which is kind of silly because not everyone will be able to do it. English as a subject is stupid because all it is analysing literature in ways that it was never intended to be seen as. Dumbasses, a story can just be a story. It doesn't have to have all of this apparent implication that you're giving it. It can just be a story. I'm not writing a piece no, it's just a fucking story. And math, you get to a point in math where you stop learning useful math. You start learning stupid math, and you start learning stupid math by the end of high school. Therefore, all of those things are all those stupid pieces of math that nobody needs to know is in these exams that no one needs to do. Not to mention, and I think I've mentioned this before, exams in general, the way they're done, are fucking awful. I know all of this stuff. I just don't like being in an exam environment because I don't like silence. Silence bugs me. Silence annoys me more than anything else. I did a video a week or so back wearing headphones, and that was mostly just because silence that's how much silence annoys me. And probably won't be the only video I do wearing headphones because I actually found it quite it didn't mess me up too much, if at all. It might have even been better speech-wise because I wasn't overthinking everything. Or not thinking everything at all because I speak far too fast to think sometimes. National Chocolate-Covered Cashew Days is next, and I don't think I've ever seen cashews covered in chocolate. It's not really the go-to nut, is it? I think more like almond or hazelnut when it comes to chocolate. I'd imagine it's still good. Cashews are a pretty solid nut. Although cashews is one of those ones that it's not a nut, isn't it? Is that the one that's technically a fruit, or is that the one that's no? Peanuts are legumes. Someone tell me in the comments. National Yellow Bat Day is something to do with an army regiment that I'll be honest, the description on this one wasn't super obvious, and I do not care enough to research further. But basically, it's an army regiment whose symbol is basically the Batman logo. Black bat on a yellow background, it's basically the Batman logo. And I don't care if that sounds disrespectful, it's just accurate. And finally, apparently, this week is National Library Week. As I've mentioned, I'm only covering the days, not the weeks and months and everything else. But apparently, it's National Library Week, and being the Tuesday of the National Library Week, it is National Library Workers' Day. One of those careers that's definitely on hiatus, because I don't really feel like libraries are an essential service by any stretch of the imagination. Not to mention a lot of people touching a lot of other things. It's probably not for the best. It's one thing that I will say, at least in our uni, our library staff does so much more than just library stuff, and this various support team stuff is really solid. Like, I don't know if that's not really a common thing, that's more of a uni-specific thing, but it's, I think, worth bringing up because, I mean, there's not really much else to say when it comes to library workers, is it? It's a weird job. It's a strange existence, I think. I don't know. It's just a bit of a weird one. Like, libraries are sort of dying out, but also sort of not. Everything about this is super strange, I'm sorry. But yes, those were your days of the day today. Join the flock and subscribe. Do me a favor, help me out. YouTube does not promote small channels in any way, shape or form, so please comment and like, because apparently that tickles the algorithm, and share this video because God knows YouTube doesn't. And in all of that vein as well, do go back and watch the rest of the playlist if you haven't. This is way over 100 episode series by this point. It will be going until the end of the year, and I would very much appreciate it if you caught up and if you watched them all and just interacted with it all, just to help the thing grow, because it's so difficult to start up on there. I have a bunch of other stuff I want to do, but a lot of that stuff is a lot easier having a part form. And that's where the other two things I say in this outro come in. Do embrace the chaos. As much as I claim it to be more fun, it is also it can also be a lot easier, and people get stressed, work themselves up and get stressed and stuff, so sometimes it's easier just to embrace everything and just go with the flow of it. That's more so what I mean when I'm saying embrace the chaos. Because chaos is the natural state. When you're planning things and you're creating order and stuff, that is you actively doing it. If you're just going along with things, you're just kind of, that's letting chaos take control. I don't know, that's probably the best I've explained it so far. And like I said, my goal, our goal as a collective should be change the world. It needs to happen. And obviously there will be changes out of the back of this when this, situation, whenever we get out of the back of it. And that might be for the better, that might not fix anything. It might just be, oh god, everything's gone to shit, our system doesn't work. All the cracks in our system have been exposed by this one thing causing everyone to stop. But yeah, there's a lot of things that need changing. And banding together as a community is very much a good place to start for that. And all the other stuff that I have in the pipe works. I'm still writing a card game, which I haven't wrote any more of. I haven't touched since I last brought that up, but it is a thing that I have that I'm doing. I have plans out of the wazoo for other stuff as well. I just need to, again, if you gave me a dev team and a genre, I could give you a design. I am good at logistics, I am good at ideas. You give me people that can put things into practice, I will give them a fantastic thing to do. And I will be there and I can be there the entire whole thing, and I will interact, and I feel like I would be a pretty good boss. I'm just pushy. I'm not pushy, but I'm just a good guiding hand, and this is what I want. This is what I want. I don't know. This video's getting a bit long and rambly, but I think it was a good one. Overall, might share this one. If you're seeing this because of me sharing it, you'll know that I have. Although this is a good chance that you see it. Statistically, that's most of my views at the moment, but in the future it might not be the case. Hopefully it won't be the case. Hopefully I'll have a significant number of viewage at some point that isn't just people that I share that watch this because I share the video on my Facebook and stuff. But that's all the stuff that I cover, and maybe a bit more in depth for stuff that I normally just say without giving any real context to. So if nothing else, I might share this just for a better explanation, but that also implies people get this deep into the video. which I would hope you watch the whole thing, at least for these sort of things. Maybe not for like the cube one. The Drawful one probably, because that's Drawful, and Drawful's hilarious. And it is just a game. I think it's a game with Drawful. It might be 2 games of Drawful. I don't remember. I think we played 2 games of Drawful. I don't know if we included both games of Drawful. It was a few weeks ago, and I have an awful memory. Anyway, if this video gets any longer, I will sign off and remind you, I don't know what words are today, that I will see you all tomorrow. Bye bye.